It's called the divine equation. C plus P equals E. The divine equation is C plus P equals E. And what that is your circumstances plus your perspective equals your experience. If you want to have a good experience of life, then you need to let your perspective drive your experience, not let your circumstances drive your perspective.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to my show. My name is Tiffany Alexander, and this is Unveiling Journeys. I'm pretty excited to have you here with me today. I have a great guest for you. And I just want to tell you 1 second about me. I, I love meeting new people. I love networking with people. I love referring people to people. They call it nowadays like connector, super connector. And I've lovingly grown to love that title. And what it ends up looking like is I spend half hour with people and I don't know, the first 15 minutes, I'm like, please tell me about you. And then I end up going, oh my gosh, there's people I need you to know, I think. And, or if they have time to let me say, oh, here's a few minutes about myself, I end up asking them, do you know anybody that I need to know? And you're so cool. Can I know more people just like you? How do I find them? So it ends up just causing this snowball of now an avalanche of phenomenal people that I get introduced to. And I hope that I could return the favor to everyone that I meet. And some of them are just awesome. And they're in groups that I'm in, like networking groups that I ask them, like, hey, can I put you on my show? And so, of course, I want to have phenomenal guests for you. So, with that, I have Russ that's going to be here telling about his life story today and what he's all about and what he's doing. So, welcome, Russ. Thank you for coming. Let's do this. I want to start with telling everybody tell everybody what you're up to and like what you're all about right now.
Well, Tiffany, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. What a blessing. What an honor to be here. And my name is Russ Hedge. I am an inspiration specialist. I am here to inspire and encourage people to live a purpose driven life. That's what I'm all about. I've been in sales and marketing for 35 plus years and then rolled into my own business that started with marketing coaching, evolved into speaking, podcasting, and then became an international best-selling author. I've done a lot of ways to inspire people, and that is what I am all about every day.
Oh, that's so cool. And some of the stuff you're doing right now is so cool with like your clients and, just being able to hear the stuff you're doing, the stuff you're publishing. And that's why I wanted to tell people about you and more. But what we can do is go into like your whole journey. Let's do that. Let's the show, Unveiling Journeys, right? So let's start from the beginning. Where are you from? And I don't know, loaded question. What do you want to be when you were a kid? Or what did you go to school for? Or what did that look like?
Well, it's really amazing. I was born in Salem, Oregon, which is where my beautiful wife and I live now. And actually, she and I were both born delivered by the same doctor a little over a year apart. And then it took until my senior year in college before we met. And so it was quite a journey. But in between that, I grew up in Oregon City, Oregon, which was an amazing place to grow up. I had awesome parents, super supportive. I was one of those crazy kids that did everything. To be honest with you, when I was young, I'm not sure what I wanted to be. Maybe an NBA star, maybe an NFL star, maybe a rock star, maybe John Travolta dancing. Who knows? I wanted to be all those things. And so, but I did just everything. I played 3 sports. I was in all the music and drama and performance. I loved those things. And so growing up, I just had a fantastic childhood because my parents not only encouraged me to do all that, but they also supported me and were there through it all. Also had an amazing sister who was always there. She was busy too. So we were back and forth. So a lot of fun. Then I went to Oregon State University, graduated with a BS in communications. Yes, that is true. A BS in communications. That's
Hilarious.
what it was. But right before I did that, I met my beautiful wife. And my beautiful wife really was God's instrument of getting my life back on track. I had been such a good kid through high school. College, I kind of fell off the truck, even though I was still, quote, quote, a good kid doing what all the other good kids did, just kind of got off track and did some things I probably shouldn't have done. And so, but she kind of got me back on, gave me motivation because we got engaged. And then I had motivation to graduate. So I did that. We were married 6 months later. And then life has been amazing since then.
Whenever you left college, what did your first careers start to look like?
Well, when I left college, I first went into well, I tried a couple little worked for my dad, did a couple little things just for a few months, just trying to get my feet on the ground. But then I actually went to work for the largest advertising public relations firm in Oregon.
Yeah.
I'd interned for them when I finished college. So I finished college, I was interning, stuck with them for a little while. Then I did a couple odd jobs, ended up coming back to them, starting off in the mailroom. And it was amazing. Actually, my favorite job ever was in the mailroom because there was no stress. All I got to do is walk around and talk to everybody. Took care of the bosses, Mercedes and Jaguar. Had free Blazer tickets and free food and all kinds of fun stuff. It was a really going concern. Had governors, senators, famous people walking in and out of our office all the time, and so it was a lot of fun. And then I got promoted to office manager because they thought that I was doing a good job. But unfortunately, that's not really what I wanted to do. I'd originally started in public relations and then ended up being recruited by one of my clients to go into sales and marketing, which is really the same thing. PR selling people, sales and marketing selling products or services, same stuff. So I went to work for them, and that's what really launched my sales journey.
Gosh, that's so fun. What were some of those other, like, influential factors that had you leave that position to go and move on to the next thing?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just feel the transition. Things were happening in the company. One of the owners was ill, ended up after I left, ended up dying of cancer, which of course was sad because I just loved him. He was a great man. So the company kind of got shook up and things were starting to happen. So I ended up deciding to take this other job. It was a good opportunity. And it was also in Portland. And so working, the first part, actually, the first job, I got to tell you, my beautiful wife worked 10 blocks up the street from me in downtown Portland. And I worked right on the river. I had a beautiful office overlooking the river. It was great. We thought we'd hit the big time when it first started. But then I still stayed in Portland, even though at that point we had moved to Salem. And so I was driving back and forth, but I was working for a large office products distributor and furniture company. So they worked with offices on their furniture and office products and all that. It was a lot of fun. Great to see people, good people development, connection, community building. That's what I'm all about.
Ah, man, that's fun. This is like all the little fun nuggets of creating this story for you where this like, oh, this influential factor to this and this and this. Tell me more, the rest of it, like unveiling it.
Well, I got a great opportunity after that job because I was driving from Salem to Portland, which was a lot of driving every day, a lot of traffic. And my family was all down in Salem. So I was actually asked by a family business to come and do their sales and marketing because they didn't really know how to do that end of it. It was a great business, it was growing. And so my father in law had actually started it years before. So I went to work for them. And the entire time my children were in school from young to through high school into college, I worked for this company and I was 10 minutes away from home, able to coach their teams, help their schools, be closer to my wife when she needed help. So that was really a blessing and I love that job.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. That's fun. What did you sell there?
So I sold landscaping tree service and some other things. We actually did some really large disaster cleanup.
Oh,
So, I flew to California. We had people fly to Florida, clean up after fires and hurricanes, to Oklahoma for tornadoes, all kinds of crazy stuff. So that part was kind of interesting, definitely. But it was just a good business. It wasn't like I had yearned to go into to that my whole life as far as landscaping and tree service, but my end was the sales and marketing, and that's what I was good at.
oh, that's fun. That's like a
Yeah.
unique thing. I never thought that you were gonna say that out loud. Where did that lead to next in your journey?
Well, we had that huge recession in the late 2000, what, 6 to 10, whatever it was. And so things were really falling off. The family was really working hard to keep me employed. I did them a favor, took a job with another friend down in a city south of me, was all about disaster cleanup. It was restoration, and the company was a SERVPRO set franchise.
Yeah.
So I became the sales and marketing manager for SERVPRO, and they were expanding, buying new franchises, and that was really great. So I worked with them all the way and loved that job. Built, more community in areas I hadn't been. But back down to Corvallis, where I went to school at Oregon State University, that was a lot of fun. And I even worked with the university, which was even more fun. But then COVID hit, and I had started my own business, which is what I have now, and as kind of a side hustle, but didn't really have time to spend on it because I was working 12-hour days with the company I was with. So when COVID hit, my beautiful wife knew that I had felt like God had been moving me to do my own business. And so she goes, "Now is your perfect opportunity. The world has stopped. You have time to develop your business and do all that you need to do." And that's where I just took off from there. Wrote my book 5 months later, my first book, started podcasting, live streaming, marketing, coaching online, speaking online. And it was just great. It was actually a great time for me through all that trouble to start my business.
Well, tell me more about what that business was, because like, you just worked at this company and you're like, "I'm gonna start my own business." What even was that?
Well, I was sales and marketing manager at SERVPRO. So all these jobs, I've been doing the same thing. I've been selling and marketing whatever they're doing, whatever service or products they have. And so, yeah, so I was very successful. I was number one in the entire region in sales. I became the marketing and sales manager. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But restoration, again, wasn't really my lifelong dream. And so when I had the opportunity to speak to people and inspire them, to help them with their sales and marketing and coach them, to write books, to do podcasts and live streaming, all that I do. It was a golden opportunity for me to go out and do my own thing and not sell somebody else's service or products. So that's why that was such a seamless transition for me. And I just have not looked back.
And tell me more about what that looked like when you started, because I mean, you did jump off the ledge, you know? Did you just, like, quit and then start this because it was all shut down?
Yeah, well, everything was shut down. My entire team got laid off like everybody else, everybody in our area. And it really honestly didn't freak me out or anything
Yeah.
because we all thought we were going to have a 2 week vacation and go back to work. And so didn't even worry about it at all. And I just started thinking, though, you know what? And then once I realized it was 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and then I realized, yeah, this is not ending anytime soon. And so that's when I made that transition. And really, honestly, for me, it made it easy because being laid off during that time, I was stable as far as paying for my bills and doing all the things I needed to be doing. And it gave me time to think through, develop, build relationships, like meeting amazing people like you, Tiffany. And I really grew in my community worldwide. So I have an amazing worldwide community, and it really helped me launch that.
Oh, man, that's fun, that's fun. So whenever you got this all started and going, and then you wrote your book, what's the name of your book again?
The first one was called Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. It's all about not living life befuddled, not out of sorts,
Yeah.
but choosing the life you want to live. And I loved it. It had a lot of really good principles. And I would have the naysayers say to me, "Oh, I can't choose what happens to me. I can't choose my life." And I would say, "You're exactly right. You can't choose what happens to you. Life happens and
It
then you choose."
hmm.
Thus was my most recent book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, is all about perspective. Life is happening, is dealing you what it's dealing you, but God gives you the opportunity to make choices and do what you want to do based on that and keep the perspective you want to keep. And between those two books, I wrote 4 anthologies. So I have 6 books altogether and actually working on another one right now. But a lot of those were around cancer journey and around all that I was going through during that time.
Hmm. That's so fun to think you've had these divinely inspired ideas and you were able to compile them all into writing a book. I know so many people out there want to write a book. It's like, you got to get it all out and then you got to publish it and then you got to make it all happen. So that's incredible. And then whenever you started being able to be out there to share with more people, so you started podcasting, you started your show. What was that titled and what does that look like?
Well, in the very beginning, when I started that, Mama had Alzheimer's, and we started hashtag Happy Moments with Mama. She was in her memory care, and we would do what was called Lappin' and Laughin'. My mama was the happiest person alive, even through Alzheimer's, and she had a circle hallway in her memory care, and we would walk that hallway and we would laugh. She called it Lappin' and Laughin'. We'd sing songs and laugh, and I started taking little video clips, and then I thought, hey, I should try a podcast with her while she's able to talk to me and have a conversation. And so we did. It was amazing. I have awesome memories from that. That was my trial run, and then that took me right into marketing with Russ, AKA hashtag Russ Selfie, which was my first business live stream or podcast. I mean, it started as a podcast, became a live stream later on, and then I expanded from there. Altogether, I do 6 live streams a week.
Oh my gosh, such busy guy, busy guy. Now tell me this, you're doing so much stuff. It's a lot of work, a lot of energy. You keep showing up. Why do you keep showing up? Why do you keep trying so hard?
Well, I keep showing up because God motivates me to inspire and encourage people. That's what I'm all about. I am all about helping others. And that's what my book is all about, too. All my books, but this one most recently is about inspiring people to live a life with a good perspective and really showing them with God's help they can do that. And it's been such a blessing. It's going to just affect thousands of people, and it just really is an amazing opportunity. And the same thing with the live streaming and podcasting. I'm able to get out a positive message, be able to interview great people of amazing value, just like you, Tiffany. And it's just such an awesome opportunity. It's also helped me. I'm all about connection and community building. So it's helped me to connect with so many people and build community. And it's just grown. Like I said, I have friends in crazy parts of the world. So it's just a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, at this point, people are thinking, wait, I want to find you. How I want to spend time with you. I want you to encourage me, coach me, and let me use your services. What's your favorite way for people to come find you?
Well, russhedge.com. I'm a simple-minded guy, so one-stop shop. Russhedge.com is my favorite. You go right there, you can connect with me any way you want. Social media, email, phone number. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. I'd love for you to do that. Also, my favorite social media of choice is LinkedIn. And of course, that is on my russhedge.com. Also very active on YouTube. When people subscribe to my YouTube page, which they can do by going to marketingwithruss.com. One of the names of my show is marketingwithruss.live. Excuse me, marketingwithruss.live will take you directly to my YouTube page and show you all the live streams we're doing in one spot. So many thousands of people of amazing value there. And so that is such a great, great thing. And so I've been so blessed, but russedge.com is number one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, at this point, I have just a couple more questions left, and the next one's really, what's next? Like, what's on the horizon? What are you working on? I know you talked about writing another book. What else?
Well, it's really interesting because my whole trajectory has changed over the last few years. Been going through a cancer journey the last 3.5+ years, and went from melanoma on the bottom of my foot, stage 2A, to stage 4. It had metastasized to my groin, my lungs, and my brain. And then 10 months later, after no treatment, because they had to stop the treatment because it was killing me faster than the cancer, I was declared no sign of disease, and I'm praising God for no cancer, but I'm dealing with a lot of side effects from the cancer treatment. So, without going into all of those, let me just tell you this: to answer your question, they affect what I'm able to do, how much I'm able to do. I can work a little bit in the morning and I usually sleep in the afternoon. I don't have the energy to make a full day work. So I have to adjust what I want to do. And when I want to be on amazing podcasts like yours or do mine, I try to group those in the morning as best as possible, or I got to take a good nap beforehand. And so, my goal is to keep inspiring and encourage people. I don't know. I didn't plan to do any more books, but this other book, this anthology came to me just recently. It's with the cancer conquering community. So it's another cancer community, which is great. Tells a little bit more about my story. And then I'll keep live streaming podcasting, still marketing, coaching. But what I'll end up doing, I'm 61 years young. And what I really would love to do is spend more time with my beautiful wife and a little bit less time working. So as time goes on, my goal is to taper back, but I don't think I'll ever quit because I just love people. And that's what I'm all about. And I want to connect with them, inspire them, lift them up, make people smile. That's what I'm all about.
Oh man, that's so fun. That's so fun. You're such a like an honorable, awesome person to look up to. And I appreciate you freely sharing that the Lord is in the primary position in your life to look up to and give credit to and thanks to because I agree 100%. Like I have nothing at all without God where we're at every single day, every single moment. And I'm so grateful for him
Amen.
healing you of everything. Oh my gosh. Just continued
Oh,
healing.
it
We'll pray for that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just gotta say that, because all the cancer treatment, they had to stop because I was hospitalized a year ago. I spent New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in the hospital. Fun place to celebrate the new year in 2025. Um, but they had to stop that cancer treatment, and it's totally glory to God for that because they stopped that. We just prayed, and I took care of myself, and 10 months later in October, the scan showed no sign of disease, and so I'm just very thankful.
Man, that's incredible. This is so good. All right. Now I'm gonna bring us to our last question.
All
What
right.
what is the golden wise words or nuggets or the wisdom that you want to leave us with so we can wrap up the show for today?
Well, the wisdom I want to leave you with is from Chip Ingram. It's called the divine equation. C plus P equals E. The divine equation is C plus P equals E. And what that is your circumstances plus your perspective equals your experience. If you want to have a good experience of life, then you need to let your perspective drive your experience, not let your circumstances drive your perspective. So when you do that, when you're allowing your circumstances to manipulate your perspective, things are not good when circumstances are not good. But when you are choosing to let your good perspective drive the whole thing, what that does is give you a great experience in life no matter what happens to you, because you can always move beyond. There's always good and positive things to be found in no matter what happens to us. And I've had some pretty lousy things happen to me, just like everybody else. But I'm able to move past that because God gives me the chance to have that good perspective and keep that going every day, and that's what I'd encourage everybody to do.
Could not imagine saying that any better than you did. Phenomenal. I went on a tangent yesterday telling somebody, I'm like, man, when I have a tough moment, I just adopt some gratitude because if I really want to take a moment back to realize how big everything is and how small my little problems are, So, great wisdom words to share and leave with everybody. And at the end of the show, I just want to say thank you, Russ, for your time. Thank you for having your your waking time with us today on the show. And then this is the beginning of 2026. So we expect huge things and we'll push the show out here in like a month or so. And so that way people can start to hear all the other things that you're working on. And then, thank you guys for listening today. I'm so appreciative of my audience members. And if you guys haven't already, go look up Russ Hedge. He said he's easy to find on LinkedIn. And that way you can check out his website too. And then I will see you guys on the next episode. In the meantime, everybody take care.
See ya.
Bye.